Welcome back to the Fit Minute Podcast, where we talk all things health, fitness, and lifestyle. I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome back. I'm your host, Gabby Mazar, and on today's episode, I have Dr. Samantha Ramanan. She's a naturopathic doctor with MedLink Health Solutions here in Ahwatukee. Welcome to the show today.
Thanks for having me, Gabby. I'm excited to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Today we're going to touch a little bit on joint pain or regenerative medicine, but I want to get started by you telling me a little bit about yourself and how you got into the business and what you do.
Absolutely. So I have been in the field of joint pain for almost 10 years. People don't believe it, but it's been a very, very long time. It's what drove me to be a physician, because my first exposure to what we call naturopathic medicine, I'm a naturopathic doctor, meaning I start with natural remedies to get people healed. And if necessary, you can utilize drugs, pharmaceuticals. I always loved and was fascinated by the human body. I thought, what an intelligently designed machine. And I always was very fascinated by biology and research and medicine in general. So for years, as a high school student, undergrad student, I thought I was going to go down the route of being an MD, medical doctor, doctor of osteopathic, or some sort of nurse practitioner, perhaps. I just knew that was the field for me. My first exposure to naturopathic medicine, which it's okay, listeners, if you've never heard of a naturopath.
If they've listened to this show, they definitely have.
They definitely have. Okay.
I'm all about holistic and natural medicine. And I mean, Western medicine, I believe in it too, but I'm all about the holistic and the natural medicine for sure.
Absolutely. There's a time and place. There absolutely is. For traditional pharmaceutical surgery, absolutely. But where healthcare falls short is in really that 90% of the population of our day-to-day of just living happy, healthy, and without pain. And modern medicine sucks with that. Modern medicine will keep you alive, sustain you, fantastic if in an emergency, and it's definitely needed. And some patients don't want to be happy, healthy, and out of pain. They just want that type of medicine, and that's fine. But where most people are, and where I think where society is definitely heading, is that we want to get down to the root of the way we are, why we are this way, why we're experiencing symptoms, why am I in pain? So my first exposure to naturopathic medicine, when I was all the way back in maybe like 18, 19, I shadowed a naturopathic doctor, and every single one of her patients improved. That was an unknown thing to me at that time, shadowing and scribing for medical doctors. It was just, I didn't realize once you had a condition, you could actually reverse it. It was a completely foreign thought to me, but kind of clicked in every way because of my background and my love for biology. Because we learn about, you cut your hand with a knife, okay, you bleed, you clot, you heal, you scar over, or there's no scar at all. It just made sense that we have that divine ability to heal.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. So what this physician did was actually get down to the root causes of some of these patients and help them climb out of the hole that they kind of got themselves into, but in a way where it put them in the driver's seat, because now they have tools to get themselves better, or they realize the root of health comes from very simplistic things that we just kind of forget about, how we're thinking, how we're talking and acting with others, our sleep, our nutrition, how we move our body. So those are kind of the root of things. So that was my first exposure to naturopathic medicine. And this doctor in particular did injection therapy with something called Prolotherapy way back in the day, before regenerative thing was even, before you see billboards of stem cell and PRP and reverse your joint pain. It was called Prolotherapy in the regenerative realm. And that was injections right into the knee, right into the shoulder, right into bones, ligaments to heal them. And the results were incredible. These were 60, 70-year-old patients mostly, that really didn't want to run a marathon. They didn't want to get back on the football field. They just wanted to live their life without pain, enjoy the life that they had, like walk their daughter down the aisle. Like that was one patient's goal. Or another goal was, I just want to be able to play with my granddaughter and lift her up and not have her ask, Grammy, are you okay? Like, are you hurting again? Like, it was these simple things that they just want to be out of pain. And all that modern medicine offered them was a pill,
Drugs, painkillers,
or surgery, which sometimes caused more pain. So that was kind of my spark. The other push was that my mother struggled with hormonal menopausal like symptoms for almost 15 years, and nothing helped her. And the worst thing a doctor did was put her on antidepressant, because she's like, oh, I'm not crazy, I'm not depressed, but you're giving me depressed for a depressed person a pill. And I saw her get better. So this was just a foreign thing, that you can get better. You can get better from what you're suffering with, and you can actually completely reverse it, not just, okay, I can half it and I just have to live with it. So that was fascinating to me. I then went to one of the 8 naturopathic schools of the nation right here in Tempe, Arizona. After being exposed to that doctor, that was just like, okay, this is what I'm doing. So I went through undergrad knowing that's where I was going. So that was a fairly easy transition for me. But I was lucky enough to know why I was put on this earth really young. Many of us are blessed with that knowledge. And so I did absolutely everything I could to learn about the root of physical pain, and specifically when it came to joint pain. Because once you understand your body, acknowledge it for the deep, complex, intelligent, that those aspects of just that is your body, then you can kind of help push it gently and direct yourself towards health and healing. So, man, am I taking up all the time? I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
So that's where it started. But in the last 10 years, regenerative medicine has really become extremely popular, because it's the first time that patients have been offered an alternative to drugs and surgery when it comes to joint pain, which is huge. Nobody wants surgery. Nobody wants to have to go under anesthesia. There's complications with that, have something, a part of them removed. So the most gratifying thing in life is finding something that fulfills you and that you're good at, right? And I was very blessed to be taught by some phenomenal physicians that gave me the tools to really hone in on the root of pain when it comes to joint, because it's not just about your shoulder or your knee. It really comes down to all the way back to naturopathic principles of you need to have good food to heal, you need to have water, you need to have good rest, and you need to have a not so constantly stressed environment. So some of those things dictate how we heal. That's why we don't really heal 100% all the time. So implementing that with my patients, and just getting them to the goal of, I want to be out of pain so that I can lift my granddaughter, I can walk up the stairs, I can help my husband with the groceries, or I can just reach my hands over my head to change a shirt.
That's a big one. Take off your sports bra.
Utilizing that, there's nothing that could be more gratifying. And I never really claim with my patients to do much in the way of their healing. I'm simply telling them I just am utilizing your own body's capability of healing. If you believe you can heal, you can heal. So obviously there are limitations to regenerative medicine, but there is always it's always a good starting point if you want to avoid surgery and you want to get out of pain. So I even forgot your original question, Gabby, but I'll go back. I'll give you a little information on my clinic. So I started MedLink Health Solutions pretty much right out of school, because I knew exactly what I wanted to do and who I wanted to treat, which was people in joint pain, wanted to get back to an active lifestyle, or people that wanted to just enjoy their life without pain. So MedLink Health Solutions started in 2019 on February 14th. Oh, that's on Valentine's Day.
That's sweet.
And I have my own clinic. I'm the only practitioner, but I partnered with my awesome team. Ryan Welch is my business partner, and his wonderful wife is my medical assistant. And together we kind of describe ourselves as a three-legged stool. And we cannot operate without one another. We are a team, and because there are many different aspects to health, healing, and wellness. So obviously I bring the doctoring side, but my medical assistant, Panda, she brings the understanding, empathy, the love, and Ryan just makes it work, which we absolutely need those logistics and those boxes checked. So we have a fantastic team in Ahwatukee, right off of Ray Road.
And you do more than just joint pain. You do more than just pain.
I do.
Yeah, you're not just a joint pain doctor. You do, you actually are a naturopathic doctor as well. So you do other things also.
I absolutely do. And I can talk. I have two pieces to my clinic. I see the joint pain patient, but I also see that patient that's in pain for other reasons. So they're chronically fatigued. They might have some past trauma that has manifested with anxiety and depression. They might have grown children out of the house, but now they've kind of wrecked their own health. That was on the back burner because they were supporting their children. And now hormones are out of whack. Autoimmune diseases might be a problem, and they're just stressed and can't sleep. So I utilize naturopathic principles and with those patients who might not have a joint pain injury, they have a lot of pain in general. And I I utilize a lot of other therapies to natural therapies to get them out of pain that way. But it really does kind of come down to them to first an acknowledgement, because unfortunately, modern medicine has failed. It doesn't work well to keep you healthy. And I know there's a old joke that it's not healthcare, it's sick care, but it absolutely is true. And I don't blame medical doctors or DOs for this. There is no one more passionate, more patient-centered than those doctors that went to medical school and then residency and then are reimbursed by insurance for $50 for half an hour or $600 for brain surgery. Like I understand it's the system that we live in. But to a healing person, to a person that really is, I need to make a change, I need to heal, it actually kind of in medicine kind of comes down to the patient kind of knows, I know what's wrong. I know my weaknesses. I know we kind of know I should sleep better, I should eat better, but nobody really cares.
Yeah, nobody tells you that either. I think the thing with kind of modern medicine is that you're not trying to solve the solution to the root cause of whatever issue it is, whatever it might be. You're trying to stop whatever the result of that issue is. So, a lot of times you're getting a medication for whatever the result is, the pain or, what's causing it. Like, okay, maybe you have high blood pressure. Now, there are definitely people that have genetically high blood pressure that do need to be on pills, but there are a lot of people that could change that with diet, exercise, so you're try and get to the root cause. What's the root cause? What are you eating? What are you doing daily? What are your habits? What's your stress level like? And how are you treating that to get to the solution to the problem to where you don't need to treat it with medication? And I think you are correct. I think, and it's not necessarily the doctor's fault. They're trying to treat a patient just like anybody else is trying to, but it's the system that's created this kind of snowball effect that keeps going and going and going and going, and that's just how we treat people. But the patient themselves is used to that system also. We're not used to a system where we go to the doctor and the doctor says, I want you to do this every day and then do this with your diet and then come back to me in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and then we'll retest you again and see how you are without medication first, instead of here, take this pill and come back to me in 6 months. Because I've been through the same thing with when I first got diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I went to an endocrinologist and I asked him, I said, is there anything that I can do, diet, supplements, anything that I can do to help to not have to be on such a high dose of medication or on medication, or to help? And he said, nope, just take this pill. And I was like, uh, I don't feel this. Like, I don't feel this. Like, my body is attacking itself for some reason. And I don't believe that my body wants to do that. And just giving it a pill, which is something it doesn't really want, I don't feel that. And I know now, 10 years later, that that's not true. That there are a lot of things that I can do that help me physically, mentally, to not have to be, I mean, I'm going to have to be on thyroid medication forever, which is completely fine, but not have to be miserable all the time. you know?
Right.
And I was really upset with that answer. I was like, wow, I can't believe, like, nope, you're going to be like this forever. Sucks to be you. I was like, he didn't say that, but that's how it felt at the time. And it's like, you just don't even care at all about me as a person, me as a patient. Like, just shove pills down my throat. See you in 6 months. Have a nice day. Thanks for your money. It's super insulting. And yeah, that's just how I feel about it.
Oh, absolutely. And you were not alone. I think we all feel that. I feel that way about it as a doctor, and many doctors feel that way. Not to mention if you have health insurance, if you are fortunate enough to be in a position to even afford health insurance every month, and then go and realize it doesn't cover what I need.
Oh, yeah.
Why do I have it? It's just something that funnels out of my bank account and into an insurance company, and they don't cover what I actually need in terms of health and wellness and healing. So a lot of the tests that naturopaths run are not covered by insurance. So if you went to an endocrinologist for your Hashimoto's, they probably just really ran TSH and the thyroid antibodies.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't run everything, which definitely paints a bigger picture of what's going on and why. And when it comes down to a disease process, to you as the patient, you have to understand where it has come from first. And I got to tell you, 90% of Hashimoto patients, it comes from a mental, emotional place first. That's how it manifests. So whatever happened to you, wherever it manifested, it's very rarely genetic. There are some rare cases that way, but it comes from a mental, emotional manifestation first. I can guarantee you that. And then in terms of what you can do, there aren't as many studies on gluten-free and Hashimoto's as, let's say, giving you this pill and Hashimoto markers. But there are really phenomenal research studies out there about how gluten actually makes you more inflammatory, makes your Hashimoto's worse, makes and autoantibodies worse. So just simply doing something like that could have a dramatic impact on you. And it's a
Right.
classic thing I hear in my clinic all the time, Gabby, that I actually had a patient the other day. She came in not because she needed really anything treatment wise. She was already diagnosed with prediabetes. And she just came in for me to explain to her labs and what she could do about it, because she ran labs with some other doctor. So she said, can you just explain this to me? Because when I asked my doctor said, oh, well, you're pre-diabetic. And she said, well, what do I do? Oh, lose weight. She's postmenopausal. Her hormones are all messed up. She's got horrible chronic stress from just a horrible job. And she's just like, that is not a response. Like, okay, I get it, but how? And he's like, oh, exercise. We know this as humans. We know what we should do to be healthier, but we just need a little bit more guidance. So when she came in, and I first of all told her she's not pre-diabetic. She's getting close to it, but she's not technically. And then secondly, I just listened to her go on about how she's struggling with her relationship with her daughter, because she and her daughter are exactly the same person, and it just weighs on her. And how does she cope? She eats. So, and she doesn't have time to work out because of her job. So I understood that. But it took me listening to her to see her point of view, see where she's coming from, because she knows she needs to lose weight. But instead, I said, okay, why don't we do a timed eating schedule? Because that makes you more insulin sensitive. And while you're drinking plenty of water, and let's just stay away from these 3 foods. And let's just see how your sugar comes down a little bit more. And she's like, well, I can do that. That's great. I'm like, I didn't feel like I did much, but she understood her life, obviously. Nobody understands your life better than you or all the things that you're dealing with. Physician comes in for 5 minutes and says, okay, well, you're diabetic, you have high cholesterol, lose weight and exercise. Meanwhile, that doctor is 500 pounds. So it's,
Yeah.
it's about where do I start, right? And knowing that you can, even though you might not get 100% of the way there are a lot of simple things you can do. So,
Yeah.
and that's what it's about. What can you do? What can fit in the realm of your life that I can do to heal?
And I think that's a big, big difference too between going to a naturopath and going to modern medicine doctor is time. Time.
Absolutely.
You spend the time with the patient. Like this is your I have 30 minutes with you and I'm going to sit here. And if I run over on time, I run over on time. But I can't tell you how many doctor's appointments I've been to where 1, you're late. 2, I spend 5 minutes with you. You look at my labs or whatever it is and say, you're fine. And I'm telling you, I'm not fine. I'm not fine. I don't feel fine. I don't feel right. And you go, well, everything looks good. Okay, great. So my numbers look okay. Well, this is still high. That's still low. Like just because you're in range doesn't mean it's optimal range for you or for me or so it's not right. I don't feel right. Doesn't matter. Gotta go. Next patient. 5 minutes. Thank you. Have a nice day. It's really frustrating, but you need to know like exactly what you're saying. You sit there, you listen. This is who she is. This is her lifestyle. This is what she has. This is what she can do. Okay. So let's do these few things and see how we do from there.
Mm-hmm.
And take it one step at a time.
Absolutely.
And not
Absolutely.
just lose weight. Great. Oh my God, if I could tell my clients just lose weight, like I would make millions. Hey, you came in here to work out, lose weight. Good job. Like it's just not how that works, It's unfortunate, but
So I think, yeah, you're absolutely right. What kind of sets naturopaths apart is we do take the time because we're trained in the way that the body has a lot of moving parts and they all interact on each other. We cannot systematize the body and pull out just the kidneys and say we've got kidney failure and it's all about the kidneys. So how can we treat the kidneys instead of looking at, are they drinking every night? Are they smoking? What are you eating? And just how much water? Like you cannot separate. You cannot separate the two. And I often tell my patients, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's simple to heal, but it's not easy in the life that we live. Just the way we have structured our lives. And you're absolutely right that we have to take health and healing one step at a time. It's one goal at a time.
I will take it back though. It does become easy because it's not easy at first. It's not easy to make that change, but once you make that change, then it becomes easy because now you've already made the change and now it just becomes a part of your natural routine after.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had a patient, my first visit with her blood pressure was over 200 over, I think it was like 109. And for you non-medical people out there, that is extremely high. That's a hypertensive crisis. But she was coming to me because she had chronic fibromyalgia. She had physical pain throughout her body. She described it as lightning bolts, just constantly, randomly. Didn't know when it was, what would set her off, and that she was morbidly obese. She had no energy, chronically fatigued, and just miserable with her life because she used to be a bodybuilder. She used to be a weightlifter, and so that memory and the person in the mirror didn't match with who she was in her head, and she had no tools. Modern medicine just kind of gave her a lot of drugs that she kind of refused to take because she was allergic, or they made her sick. So she had a hypertensive episode pretty much in my office, and she's like, I hate doctors, I just hate doctors. I heard you naturopaths were different. And I intaked her. I hardly spoke. I just let her express to me about that disassociation for her, that her body is not who she believes she is, and that she's afraid of eating disorders because she eats very sporadically. So I worked with her on mindset first. And it was really, really difficult for her. It was really difficult to look at her mental, emotional state, and also look at, okay, let's take one goal at a time. Like, how are you talking to yourself? What are you doing? Meanwhile, using natural medicines like IV therapy, so to give her like a little extra jolt boost, vitamins, ozone therapy to bring down the inflammation. So she had a little bit more resiliency in her day. And I told her, I was like, I almost said her name. I didn't say her name. That you only have so much resiliency in a day. And it's different every day. Your best varies from day to day, right? You might, let's say your goal was to go for a walk every single day. Well, I just showed up and I just walked to the mailbox and back. Well, that's a success for that day. Another day you could walk an entire mile. That's the success for that day. That was your best. So in doing that, in working with her with natural therapies, but also taking a look at her mindset, she never had a abnormal blood pressure in my office, like ever again, after we started working on that mindset, because that's all it was. We work ourselves up. I it wasn't a heart issue, but a modern doctor would see her and say, she's having a hypertensive crisis, she's got a heart problem. But 5 minutes to 15 minutes of listening to her story, you can easily differentiate, just like a family member or a friend, that this isn't a heart issue. She's
just worked herself up. She's
literally
nervous.
panicking.
She's upset.
She is panicking about her life right now. So, and that takes time. Yeah. That takes time to dig through the weeds of it all. But if modern medicine could start to shift in a way that it's patient-centered or results-driven, where it's based on if the patient gets better, I mean, the healthcare system would change drastically. Or if insurance premiums were based on, do people go see Gabby at the Pilates studio?
Yeah.
Those people are at lower risk than, let's say, the people going to get 3 meals at McDonald's. Well, they should pay a little bit less because we're just paying for, I get hit by a car. out of our control, outside of the studio, maybe. Like that's out of our control. That's the unknown, the what ifs, that's what insurance should be.
It should be incentivized. You should have incentives to be healthier. Like, I know people come in and ask me if I, take HSA, which I don't. Unfortunately, we used to, but they changed the codes and now they don't allow it anymore. And we used to be able to turn in receipts to healthcare for reimbursement. And sometimes they accept it, sometimes they don't. And it's unfortunate because you want people to be healthy and you want people to be exercising or to be eating better, and there's no incentive for them to do so when you're paying so much out of pocket for something that's just, it's something you have to pay for just in case something happens, in case you get in a car accident, in case you have a heart attack, in case, and it's not always predictable either. Even if you are healthy, something bad could happen as well. So you just don't know, but you always want to err on the side of caution and try to eat better and try to be healthier anyway. So it's just unfortunate. I wish that there were more incentives for, I know that there are for companies and for some insurance companies, which I think is great, but there should be more. There should be more for people to have options in that regard, for sure. Yeah.
I believe it's going that way because that's what the demand is. An insurance company that wants to be competitive offers some of those. Like, not all do, but there are some out there that offer a certain amount of incentives. They're more through companies, like you said.
Yeah.
That you have to upload I think like a Fitbit app, or you have to go get your blood drawn yearly and checked out. I have some of my patients have some of those types of insurance. It's just a slow process, unfortunately, but we have to keep doing what's best for ourselves,
Right.
and not wait around for an incentive. And that's the thing. We can't wait for a government bailout
Right.
and for your insurance to pay for you to be healthy. It don't work that way. They're going to pay for you to be sick. That's what the system is set up to create and produce and mutate into that kind of system. So it's on you as the individual, and I think most people understand that. You just don't know. They don't have the tools. They don't know. They think we have this perception of, to be healthy is expensive. So expensive to.
It's not. It's more expensive to be sick. Come on.
Yes, so
Well,
expensive to go to Gabby's studio. It's so expensive.
it's not cheap. It does cost money, but it costs more money to be unhealthy. So, but
Yes.
anyway, so if someone has joint pain, or if someone has just pain, fibromyalgia, or any sort of chronic fatigue, yeah, anything, they're looking for someone, they can come to you. How can they find you?
So they can reach me at my physical office in Awatuki off of Ray Road, but probably the easiest way is to go to my website, MedLink H as in Harry, S as in solutions.com, and all of my contact information is there. Or they can call the office and get a straight answer from Ryan, my business partner, and he also answers the phone, and he is phenomenal at answering all questions, finances, breaking it down. So calling my office number is 480-482-7055. And I'd be more than happy to talk to any listeners out there. If nothing else, I got into medicine to give people options and to give people hope. That's what fills my cup. That's why I get up in the morning. And I'm in the business of eliminating myself out of patients' lives. So if I can just help you in a short amount of time, tell my my team all the time, like I should retain some patients, shouldn't I? Stop healing people as a joke. No, I don't want you in my office every single month. I want you to take a journey with me, heal, and then leave knowing, hey, I'm gonna probably slip up. I'm probably not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna probably have another crisis, but now I know what it's like to be out of pain. Now I know what it's like to have good sleep, and I know how to get back there. So that's what it's about. So
Yeah.
anyone wants to contact me, feel free to utilize those methods.
Perfect. All right. Well, I will have all that information in my show notes as well. So if anybody is in the area and looking for a great naturopathic doctor, you can contact Dr. Samantha Ramanan at MedLake Health Solutions. So thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Gabby, appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you everyone for listening, and we will see you all next week.